You don't have to chase a woman to earn her respect. In fact, the more you chase, the more she resists. Respect doesn't come from effort. It comes from energy. And the men who are most respected by women aren't the ones constantly proving themselves. They're the ones who move with calm certainty. They don't ask for validation. They don't over-explain. They don't seek permission, because their value is internal, not negotiated. And when that kind of energy meets a woman's presence, she doesn't just notice. She adjusts. This is how you earn her respect. Without games, without pretending, and without chasing. Let's break it down. Most men lose a woman's respect early, without even realizing it. It starts with over-availability, over-texting, over-explaining, offering too much energy without it being earned. And it's not because women are ungrateful, it's because they feel the imbalance. The frame has shifted. You're chasing, you're managing, you're trying, and the moment you try too hard to be liked, you've already signaled, I don't fully like myself. That kills respect, fast, because women don't respect men who make them the center of their world. They respect men who already have a world and decide if she fits inside it. Respect isn't the same as approval. Approval is passive. It's easy. It's what you get when you bend, agree, and accommodate. But respect, that's earned through boundaries, through discipline, through presence. The man who's respected doesn't try to please. He's not rude, he's just centered. He listens without seeking agreement. He speaks without fearing disagreement. He leads without asking to be followed. And that energy tells her, I don't need you to respect me. I respect myself. That's when her respect begins, because she realizes you won't chase it. Here's the paradox. The more you try to make her respect you, the less she will. Because effort rooted in insecurity always exposes itself. When you seek her respect, you're signaling that you don't already have it from yourself. So you become reactive. You explain your worth. You try to sound wise, deep, impressive. But all she sees is a man trying to be something, not being something. And women don't respect words. They respect alignment. Who you are when she tests you, when she disagrees, when she pulls away, when she pushes. In those moments, respect is either built or lost. The Stoic man earns respect not by avoiding conflict, but by containing it. When tension rises, he doesn't flinch. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't collapse into silence or explode into overreaction. He holds. Calm, still, clear. That stability is what women crave, but rarely find, because most men are emotionally volatile. They respond to pressure with panic, to rejection with pleading, to disagreement with defensiveness. But the man who stays unshaken, he becomes a mirror. She sees herself clearer in his presence, and she respects that presence, not because he forced it, but because he refused to lose it. Respect isn't built by proving you're good enough. It's built by showing you have standards. Most men wait to be chosen. They orbit. They adjust. They hope. But the man who commands respect, he chooses. He doesn't just ask, does she like me? He asks, do I like her? Not from ego, but from clarity. He knows what disrespects his peace. He knows what energy he won't tolerate. He knows what kind of woman fits his life and what kind doesn't. That selectivity makes his attention valuable, because it's rare. And anything rare becomes respected. She sees it. She feels it. And she either steps up or steps aside. Women test men all the time, not to manipulate, but to feel them. They push boundaries, delay replies, throw subtle challenges, not because they want to disrespect you, but because they want to know, can he hold his ground? Most men fail these tests. They chase harder, they over-explain, they react emotionally. But the man who earns respect doesn't engage in the noise. He stays calm and direct. If she pulls away, he doesn't panic. If she's passive-aggressive, he names it without drama. If she crosses a line, he resets it once, and then he walks. Not to prove a point, but because he has one. That's what makes her respect him. His silence isn't fear, it's finality. Respect isn't fear. And if she fears you, it's not attraction, it's tension. But if she respects you, she relaxes. Because the man who moves with calm authority doesn't create anxiety. He creates clarity. He's not controlling, he's grounded. He doesn't demand silence, he invites presence. He doesn't force submission, he earns trust. And women feel the difference immediately. One drains them, the other anchors them. That's why respect is more attractive than attention, because attention can be bought. But respect, that's earned. Through discipline, through stillness, through boundaries you don't explain, you live. That's the man who's not just liked, he's followed. You don't need to speak much to earn respect. In fact, the more grounded you are, the less you say. Because silence, when rooted in presence, commands more than words ever could. Most men talk too much to prove value. They over-explain, over-justify, over-apologize. But the man who respects himself doesn't fill silence to feel safe. He lets it work for him. He doesn't rush to defend his actions. He doesn't chase closure. He doesn't repeat boundaries. Because respect isn't something he asks for. It's something he radiates. She may not even know why she feels it, but she does. And it begins the moment your words slow down, but your energy sharpens. A man who's respected never moves in a rush. Not with his words, not with his decisions, not with his attention. Because he's not afraid of missing out. He's not chasing a moment. He trusts his pace. That's what makes him powerful. He doesn't grip. He doesn't cling. He selects. The man who's always available, always eager, always ready to prove himself, he might win attention, but never lasting respect. The man who moves with patience, who knows he's not for everyone, who treats his energy like currency. He builds gravity, and that gravity pulls people in without pressure. That's what separates boys chasing validation from men holding space. Self-respecting men don't seek external structure. They are the structure. They don't need constant feedback to feel valuable. They've already done the work internally. So they walk into a room not trying to impress, but knowing they belong. And that quiet self-certainty shifts everything. People listen more, women soften, men adjust. Because true respect isn't created through dominance, it's created through alignment. You say less, but what you do say lands. You move less, but every move matters. You give less, but what you give is felt. That's not force, that's weight. And the man who carries that weight, without chasing, without noise, is the one everyone remembers. Respect begins the moment you stop asking for it. Because when you live in full alignment with your values, your standards, your presence, people feel it. You don't chase validation. You don't over-explain boundaries. You don't overstay where you're not valued. That kind of restraint is rare. That kind of clarity is magnetic. And that's what women respond to. Not your charm, not your effort, but your energy. She respects you not because you impressed her, but because you didn't need to. If you're building that energy from the inside out, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. The next drop will sharpen how you lead, how you move, and how you command respect, without ever asking for it. Respect isn't something you get from others. It's something you give to yourself first. When you stop negotiating your standards, stop proving your worth, stop adjusting who you are just to be liked, you become solid. And solidity doesn't chase, it doesn't convince, it doesn't perform, it simply is. The man who owns his silence, who moves from intention not impulse, who values his presence enough to protect it, that man earns respect everywhere he goes, not because he demanded it, but because people feel safer, clearer, sharper around him. And when that becomes your normal, you don't worry about who respects you. You simply live in a way that makes it non-negotiable. When you stop chasing women, you start attracting their respect. Not because you're distant, but because you're anchored. Not because you say the right things, but because you live the right way. You move with clarity, you protect your energy, you choose yourself before anyone else does. And in that space of self-trust, you stop worrying about being respected. You simply become the kind of man who is. No begging, no performing, no proving, just presence, standards, and stillness. What's one boundary or mindset shift you're ready to make right now to earn deeper respect without chasing it? Let's talk in the comments. If this message landed, don't miss why always being available makes you less attractive to women, and alpha versus beta mindset. Which one are you and how women see it? They'll lock in the masculine clarity that pulls respect without saying a word.